Hey everybody, it's Bobby Roze with Roze Reviews, and we're at another edition of Exposed. And tonight we have a special guest here sitting with me, Cönaxx. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for taking the time to do this with me. I appreciate you guys being here. Or me being here with you. How's that? Absolutely. We're in their jam space, so we're gonna get into a few things here. I'd like to get some answers to, if that's all right.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. We're catching up with you guys. I know you guys are coming up on some things that are going to be exciting for you and you're looking forward to. Name a couple of these things you got coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the main things we have coming up is the release of our single Violet Sun. It's coming out on August 24th. Nice. And coincidentally, we also have a show at Fraco's that night alongside of Sin on 6 and
Grind Cat Grind.
You had to stop and think about it a second. Fair enough. Hey, that's a lot. And you guys got a lot coming up, so it's hard to remember some of this stuff sometimes. So I totally get that. You guys are really, really busy. Tell me a little bit. You've got the 24th coming up at Franco's. I know that because I'm emceeing that show. I'll be there with you, embarrassing myself more than likely. Cönaxx is there, but you also have Van Zeppelin, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a bunch of stuff coming up with Van Zeppelin. It's kind of just a side project that we do.
Started out as a shirts.
Side project, Van Zeppelin.
Oh, yes, right? Yes. Nice.
Here we are. So, yeah, it started as a side project, and it pretty quickly turned into something that just kind of allowed us to get into more venues that we maybe usually wouldn't, and just kind of opened up some doors for us, maybe get us paid a little bit more. So we've been picking up a lot of shows as Van Zeppelin, and we're super excited about that as well.
I just want to note, real quick, I want to give a special thanks to Michael Martinez, because I think without him, we probably wouldn't have had Van Zeppelin, because he was the one who came up to us with the idea that we need to be a Van Halen cover band, and he said it to us several times, and then we started talking about it, and then Van Zeppelin came about out of that. But I think without him, we probably wouldn't have had the same kind of push to actually be serious about it.
That's interesting you said that. I didn't even know that was the thing.
So. Yeah, we used to cover Hot for Teacher. We did the Heart for Hayden.
We still do, but we used to, too.
Yeah. Well, that was the first Van Zeppelin that we learned.
Right.
We just did it for fun, and I think that's what caused him to say that. He was like, man, you guys crushed that song. You got to do the whole thing. So, yeah, then we were trying to get creative. We don't want to just be one band. What would be two bands that go good together? It was Alec that said, dude, Van Zeppelin.
Yeah, I think
we
you guys were like,
whoa. Zeppelin, so, I mean, it just kind of worked out. It was fairly easy for us to put together a first set of it, and we already had a couple of songs of each that we knew. So
well, and I got to say something about Van Zeppelin real quick, because when I heard that, I thought to myself, how is that going to work? I can't correlate how that comes together. And when I was thinking that, it made it a little bit more fun to see you guys and hear what you did put together in your set and the order you did it in. And by the time you were done, I was like, oh my God, that was awesome. It was a great combination. It's almost like when somebody says, I'm going to put mustard and peanut butter together, and you're like, does that taste good? It doesn't. But what you guys did with that, it sounds awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Well, I mean, we really love both of those bands, and I think more than anything, I mean, we like to play around with transitions and stuff like that, but more than anything, the fact that it ties together is because it all sounds like Cönaxx when we play it. We all play it with the same energy that we put into our original stuff, and it comes out the same way. And kind of no matter what we're playing, we cover all different bands as Cönaxx too. I mean, everything from James Brown to Pantera, and anything we do, we're gonna have our flair on it. And I think that our individual style really works with the Van Halen and the Led Zeppelin cohesively.
I've witnessed it. I've seen it. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's get back to Cönaxx a second. Where did that name come from?
Well, back when it was just me and the original drummer, we were trying to figure out band names, and we came out with Concrete Axion, and it was just too many syllables and too many people were like, what does that mean, you know? And we kind of explained what an axion is and how like an axion is a particle in space that doesn't have mass, so like the word concrete in front of it, it's like a oxymoron. So,
do you have a PhD, my lord?
no, I was looking for just cool words, and I don't know, I kind of can be a nerd about space, and I looked up a space dictionary kind of thing, just looking for a cool sounding word, and axion was in there.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the band like Saxon or something like that, you know, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a cool band or a word to throw in there, but the band name Concrete Axion was just, it was too long, and so, yeah, we conjoined the two words to put Cönaxx and then put another X at the end, and the more we looked at it, we were like, okay, I think that's something right there. That's
if you stick an umlaut over the O, it looks a little more like a band name.
We put an umlaut on it to give it some looks.
And if you use a made-up word, then you know nobody else is going to have it. Somebody types it into Google, you're the thing that pops up.
That's true.
Real quick, shout out to Rory Andretzky, the original drummer for Cönaxx.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice. Well, okay, so we brought up the single that you got coming out. Tell us a little bit more about the single that you're going to be. He's up. Go for it. I want to hear this. I want to hear it.
Rapid fire, dude.
I was just holding it because I realized he was closing his water bottle right next to it.
Oh, darn. I thought we got a big old story behind it. No, tell me seriously, guys. Where did this come from?
You want to take this one?
Go for it. Just Cönaxx in general?
No,
This single coming up.
That one, well, to make an incredibly long and arduous story short, it's about a hangover.
About a hangover.
When you wake up with a hangover, that's, you know, you're still feeling the vibes of the last night.
Yeah.
But at some point, it gets to you. Maybe you fucking vomit. But then it just calms back down eventually.
If I remember correctly, Violet Sun was one of the first songs that the four of us wrote together.
Just going to ask that.
Yeah, when I joined Cönaxx and I was filling in for Ori, which big shoes to fill, he's an excellent drummer. But the whole Unleashed album was already released, and you know, those are all basically Anthony. That was like all you're doing, I think, exception of a couple lyrics, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, that was all Anthony.
Right.
And then when I joined, the first songs we wrote together were Maiden Voyage and Violet Sun. That's correct, yeah?
Sleep Paralysis, which was one of the last songs we added onto our Spirit Smoker album.
That's right, that's right. But yeah, so... That's too funny. Violet Sun is definitely a strong step in the direction of like a little bit more, dare I say, groovy. Like Kenny's very heavily influenced, and myself, by funk. I think we all like funk music. But you can hear a little bit more grooviness in that, where it's not as straight up and down metal. Okay. It still has really heavy sections.
Yeah.
But it started with that riff, and it was just like Anthony would show up at practice and be like, we got to do something with this riff.
Right.
So we would jam it, time goes on. It turned into that song. Somebody said something about a Violet Sun, and then Alec wrote the lyrics about a hangover. That's the way I remember it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait. Well, we got a little bit of a snippet out there, right?
Yeah, we put out like just a little teaser audio. I think we'll probably be putting out a little bit more, maybe a couple other sections in the next few weeks. We also do have a bonus track that we're releasing as a part of that single. We haven't really made a big announcement about that yet, but that was actually just kind of a spontaneous capture of our warm-up jam in the studio the day that we went to go and record Violet Sun. We were doing Violet Sun, we were also doing Uncommon Soldier, and then I think we did a take or two of Mile High as well, but we didn't end up liking it that much. So, and you know, we just kind of forgot about this jam, and then months later we heard it when we were, you know, with our guy who's mixing the album, and we all really liked it. We were like, this is like the moment in the basement that nobody ever hears for like, you know, 6 years, 7 years of like just jamming in a basement and doing the thing that you do when nobody's looking, and then all of a sudden you have a good capture of it.
Shout out Ian Kelsall, our engineer friend. He's a genius. We love him.
That's why I grabbed the mic.
Make sure the shout outs are getting out there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing this. I'm looking forward to the show. Franco's 24th of August. We're excited about that. The show's going to be amazing. Nitro Productions is putting it on.
Nitro.
We got a lot of really good bands playing that night. It's going to be exciting, really exciting and a fun night. So we look forward to you guys being out there.
Heck yeah.
Any other thoughts at all, guys? Anything else you want to share?
Oh, you guys were involved in that big stormy fun.
Oh yeah, the second we were on stage.
We were holding the tarp down on
We
stage.
didn't get to play. About half of our stuff was on stage, and then it stormed on us.
We
and
are so
Yeah.
lucky, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's some other bands who weren't so lucky, including the sound guy Dave, double bass Jace's dad,
Yeah.
who some of their gear like didn't survive or is not. I mean,
Yeah.
even his
we
microphone.
did look out.
Like
yeah.
you can see it right there. There's still some like right next to you there.
Yeah.
Bag, yeah, that with the mud splattered all over it.
His wireless mic and
was
his
sitting on
wireless
mud
receiver
all
were,
over it.
and it.
Luckily, it still works.
Yeah.
It works. I've been using it all week.
But we were underneath that tarp and the wind started.
I was so scared.
If there was a couple minutes it was like, is this gonna be a tornado? And we gotta let go and run, because our lives are a little more important.
Right.
Well,
we
me
just
and
got
a couple of people were standing outside of the tarp, just in the rain, just dealing with it, because I had a rain jacket on, and
Yeah.
it's like, whatever, this is fine. And then it starts hailing, like, marble size, or like the big, like, shooter marble size hail on us, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going under.
Yeah. And then we're all hanging out under there with Rodney and then James from Twisted Escape, and then one of this farm boy who just was one of the buddies of the owners of the property, who was one of the coolest dudes, who just was like, without asking, was there and held on his hands and knees. Without him, my gear would have been drenched because it was on stage. But it was a heck of a
seriously,
moment.
Without like 15 people under there holding it down, like, we would have lost anything that was on the stage, and so would have any other band. And then I think a
whole
couple
drum
bands
set.
had a couple drum kits that were not under the tarp, and those got beat to shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
That sounds like a
I think
mess.
I saw Jeremy's kit
Yeah.
out there. Jeremy from DBT.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I saw his kit out, not under the tarp after that storm.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of new drum kits he's gonna need.
Luckily, it's not electronics or anything, but it's still got a.
It's still expensive.
It's not
Yeah, it
good.
takes damage.
A lot.
If you're at the very least, it's gonna ruin the finish.
Yeah.
But it's,
Just fucking super psyched for the really near future. And obviously, we have Sturgis that we're gonna do, and we have the single that's coming out that's lining up with the Killer Show. I mean, from personal experience, I got to jam with Grind Cat Grind and get up on stage with them a couple times. And of all the local guitar players, as a guitar player myself, like Philo always has stood out to me as like,
Yep.
I really like the way that
He's
that
the
guy
local
does.
legend and the local icon.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so it's just like kind of, it's always special for me a little bit to just get up on the same stage as Grind Cat Grind does, because they kill it. And
They've been around a long time.
yeah,
Long time.
they really have.
So, great band. It's going to be a great night of music. We look forward to seeing you all out there. You got to come check these guys out, hands down. One of the best energies in town when it comes to a band. So, their energy is phenomenal. The sound is phenomenal. Everybody is just incredible. So, you got to get out to Franco's on the 24th. We look forward to seeing you out there. Thank you guys, every bit of this. We appreciate you doing this with us.
Thank you.
Heck yeah, thank you.
guys.
Rock and roll, baby.
We look forward to seeing you out at Franco's on the 24th. You guys take care of yourselves.
Be
Until
there or
next
be
time.
square.
We'll see you.